Good morning, students. I hope all of you have gone through the previous lecture on flower. Today I am going to deliver a brief lecture regarding inflorescence. So you know what is an inflorescence? Inflorescence is a cluster of flowers arranged on a common axis. In the last class we already studied about the structure of a typical flower. So flower may be arranged in singly, that is solitary, or in inflorescence. So basically inflorescence are classified into three types. They are terminal inflorescence, intercalary inflorescence and axillary inflorescence. That is mainly based on the position. That is at the tip or apex of the plant it is terminal, axillary portion it is axillary inflorescence, and in intercalary position you can call it as intercalary inflorescence. Then another classification based on the arrangement, structure and organization of flowers, you can classify the inflorescence into different types as follows: racemose, cymose, mixed and special types. First one is racemose inflorescence. So what are the typical features of a racemose inflorescence? Here the inflorescence axis, I told you the name of inflorescence axis is peduncle. It continuously grow, rachis continuously grow, that is unlimited growth, and flowers are arranged in acropetal succession. That means younger flowers or small flowers around the tip and older flowers towards the base. And this arrangement also called as centripetal, periphery towards the center. So acropetal arrangement and unlimited growth of the axis is a typical character of racemose inflorescence. So now the different types of racemose inflorescence. So it is broadly divided into three categories: main axis elongated, main axis shortened and main axis flattened. Under each category there are again different types of inflorescence. So first category is main axis elongated. So in this first type is simple raceme. So this simple raceme, the term itself indicates the meaning. There is a typical racemose inflorescence, that is numerous flowers arranged in acropetal succession. Basal flowers are older, upper flowers are younger. Typical example is crotalaria. Then compound raceme, or you can call it as panicle. This inflorescence is actually the branched racemose inflorescence. In each branch flowers arranged like a simple racemose inflorescence. Example is mangifera, mango. Then next is spike inflorescence. This is also like our simple racemose, but only difference is flowers are sessile. So sessile flowers arranged in acropetal order. Example is Achiranthus. Then next is compound spike. So this is also branched spike. Each branch you can call it as spikelet. This is a common feature of the family Poaceae. So in each spikelet you can see base of the inflorescence having bract known as glumes. Each flower has a bract called lemma and a bracteole called paleo. So in this explanation you need only this much. So while you are discussing about the flower of Gramineae, you can study it in detail. Next is Padix. Here the feature is the axis or the rachis is actually swollen and fleshy, and entire inflorescence is covered by a structure known as spathe. Then inflorescence having arrangement of flowers is also peculiar here. Base of the axis bear female flower and sterile flowers. Male flowers borne towards the tip. Common example is Anthurium, then Colocasia, etc. Then compound spadix. Here the swollen fleshy axis is branched and bear sessile flowers and having very thick bract, spathe covered. Example is coconut, that is cocos. So these are the figures of these various types of inflorescence. First one is the racemose inflorescence, second one is compound raceme, Then you can see Achiranthus as example for spike, Arum example for spadix, Coco's example for compound spadix. Okay, so you studied main axis elongated, different category, simple raceme, compound raceme or panicle, spike, compound spike, spadix, etc. Okay, now the second category, that is main axis shortened. In this, the first one is corymb. Here, the pedicels of the flowers are of unequal length. Lower flowers have long pedicel, upper flowers have short pedicel. So all flowers appear at the same level. That type is known as corymb. The common feature of the plant is Caesalpinia pulcherium. Then next is umbel. Here the main axis is simple or branched, but the growth of vertical axis suddenly stopped. So the basal whorl of bracts arises, and that whorl of bract is called as involucre. And also flowers having pedicels of equal length, and flowers are all in acropetal succession and appear in the they are all appear in the same level. That is a characteristic feature. So in which all pedicels are of same length and arise from same point. That is a special feature. Difference from corymb. In corymb, pedicels having different sizes, but in umbel all pedicels have same size, same length and arise from a common point. Example is onion. This is the diagram of corymb inflorescence. You can see pedicels are of different length. Then compound umbel. Main axis of the umbel produce an involucre as same way, and that give rise to branches known as rays. And each ray again produces involucre of bract, and at its tip arises flowers. So actually it is a branched type of umbel, and each small umbel is known as umbellet. Example is carrot. Then third category is the main axis flattened. Here main axis flattened and assume different shape. On the flattened axis flowers are arranged. So very important example is head or capitulum. The main axis or the flattened axis you can call it as thalamus. Then numerous bracts arises here that form a cluster known as involucre, and small flowers, each flower is known as florets arranged in acropetal order, and there are two types of florets or flowers. They are sessile and they are tubular or disc floret, ligulate or ray floret. This you can see very common in our marigold, chrysanthemum, Triodax. That's a common plants of Asteraceae family. This is a diagram. In the diagram you can see the flattened receptacle that bearing two types of flowers. Based on the type of florets, there are two categories of head or capitulum, homogamous head and heterogamous head. In homogamous head means all florets are of same types. There is no differentiation. It may be of ray floret or it may be of disc floret. Example is Vernonia. In heterogamous head, florets present here belong to both ray and disc type. Disc is present at the center, ray is present at the margins. This is a common one present in the marigold. Outermost peripheral flowers are all ray floret, central flowers are all disc floret. So that's all regarding the racemose inflorescence. So simply classified into three categories. Again that is categorized into many subcategories. Okay. Then next let us pass on to second type of inflorescence, that is cymose inflorescence. In the cymose inflorescence, the inflorescence axis is limited in growth. So it stops after a particular growth and produce a flower. Then on lateral side it again produces flower. So flowers are formed in basipetal order, that is from apex to base. You can see older flowers at the tip, younger flower at the base, that reverse that of racemose. Racemose it is centripetal, here it is centripetal. fugal arrangement, that is center to periphery. First type is simple cyme. The stem or the axis of the plant may show a single flower, and such flowers are referred to as terminal or solitary cyme, single flower. Example, hibiscus. Then you can call it a simple dicaseum. Second one, inflorescence axis end in a flower. Then on its lower side again 2 more flowers arises. That lower part give rise to branches ending in flower. Example is jasminum. Then compound dicaseum means tip end in a flower. From the lateral bract a pair of branch arises, each end in a flower. Each of the branch again produces pair of bract and again give rise to lateral branch. Thus, symmetrical bunches of 3 flowers are formed. Example is clerodendron. That is actually a compound dicaseum, that is branched dicaseum. So this is a common feature of family, common feature in the members of clerodendron. That is actually a branched cyme having pedicellate flowers. In short, you can say branched cyme having pedicellate flowers. Then monocasyl cyme. Inflorescence axis terminate in a flower. 2 lateral bract, only one bears flower. Such a cyme is called a monocasyl cyme. So, axis end in a flower, below on one side only one bears flower. So that is monocasyl cyme. 2 types are there, helicoid cyme and scorpioid cyme. In helicoid cyme, main axis end in a flower. Lateral branch arises from axil of bract on one side. It gives rise to helical appearance. All further developments are only on the one side, and finally you will get a helical appearance. You can have the example of the Hemilia patterns. Actually it appears like a curved and unbranched inflorescence. Then next coming the scorpioid cyme. Here also main axis stops after producing a flower. The lateral branch arises. It produces alternatively to left and right in a zigzag manner, only on one side. And this pattern is very common in the Heliotropium plant. That's a very common occurrence. It's known as scorpioid cyme. So monocasyl cyme. Then now next is polycasyl cyme. A main axis terminate in a flower. Lateral branch formed from the bract that continue to branch repeatedly. Many times the branches continue and form flowers. That example is Nerium plant. Okay. So that's all about cymose inflorescence. Dicasyl cyme, monocasyl cyme, polycasyl cyme. Monocasyl cyme, there are 2 types, helicoid and scorpioid cyme. Now move on to mixed inflorescence. So this is actually a mixture of racemose and cymose. So there is no definite pattern. So there are different categories coming under this. First one is thyrsus. So main axis show number of simple dicasyl cyme arranged in racemose manner. So dicasyl cyme in racemose manner. So 2 patterns mixed. Example, Osimum, Tulsi. Then verticil aster, you can include this into the special type as well as mixed type. A pair of dicasyl cyme arise from axil of opposite flowers. Pair of dicasyl cyme in the opposite flowers. Later it grow as monocasyl scorpioid cyme. So a mixture of both monocasyl and dicasyl cyme. Example is Leucas. Then mixed spadix. Example is Musa. Cymose clusters arranged in a solan inflorescence axis from base to apex. Each cluster is surrounded by large bract called spathe. So cymose inflorescence is there as well as spadix, that is a racemose inflorescence. A mixed pattern you can see in Musa. So this is a diagram of helicoid cyme, scorpioid cyme, etc. Then last category, special type of inflorescence. So you cannot include them into cymose or racemose. This is special type. So first one is cyathium inflorescence. Cyathium is a common inflorescence observed in Euphorbiaceae. Euphorbia is a typical example. So inflorescence actually reduced to look like a single flower. And the bracts are all united and forming a cup. Inside the cup you can see a central large female flower coming out and number of male flowers attached on its wall. That is about a cyathium, and it has an apex. It is look like a single flower. Second one is hypanthodium. Here the receptacle is actually a cup shaped structure, and there is a small opening at the apex of the receptacle that is called ostiole. Ostioles are protected by scales. Then inside the receptacle, three types of flowers are present. Male flower at the upper part, female at the base, neutral flowers in between them. Common example is ficus. So insects enter through the ostioles. Then pollination take place by means of such type of insects enter inside the inflorescence. Then third one is Coenanthium. Here receptacle is fleshy, appear like a circular disc. Center of the disc is female flower and surrounded by male flower. It is a common phenomenon in the plant Dorstenia, that is a garden plant. So special type is of Cyathium, Hypanthodium and Coenanthium. These are the photographs of Hypanthodium as well as Cyathium. So here finishes the types of inflorescence. So let me conclude that inflorescence are of four categories: racemose, cymose, mixed and special. Each one is again subdivided into many types. So with the help of diagram and examples you can explain the different types of inflorescence. Questions may be arise from special type of inflorescence as well as racemose and cymose types, and also some other short answer questions also. So I hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you.